All right, boys and girls, here is our math lesson for today. We're going to be talking about equal shares. All right, so before I begin this lesson, I am feeling a little hungry, so let me just grab my napkin here. I'm going to lay it down. I have 2 of these delicious cookies, and I know it's kind of a strange looking cookie because it's in the shape of a triangle, but trust me, they're so delicious. But I only have 2, and there are 4 people in my house. And I got to share it with them because otherwise Mr. Santos is not going to be a happy camper. Lily will probably get really upset. Who knows what little Ryan will do. So I need to take these 2 cookies, and I got to split it up between the 4 of us. Now we talked about splitting things up equally in yesterday's lesson when we talked about equal parts of the whole. So how can I take this whole cookie and this whole cookie and split it up evenly between all 4? So that's what today's lesson is going to be all about. So let's gather some material before we begin. You're going to need your whiteboard and your marker and your eraser. If you haven't gathered those materials yet, pause the video and get them right now. All right, guys, you are back. So on our board, let's go ahead and draw these 2 cookies, and we'll just draw them in the shape of a triangle, just like how I have here. So here they are. I've got my cookies. I'll turn them the same way too. There we go. Now, how can I cut this so that 4 people, let's write that on our whiteboard, 4 people share 2 cookies, right? How does the Santos family do that? Go ahead and take a moment and see if you can figure out how I should cut these cookies. Now, I'm going to cut them maybe like this. That's 1 for Mr. Santos, 1 for me, 1 for Lily, 1 for Ryan. All right, guys, I've cut it up into 4, and that looks pretty good. What do you think? No? Not looking good? I can see you guys already shaking your head, saying, no, Mrs. Santos, that cannot work. And why is that? Because they're not equal, right? We were talking about equal groups yesterday, equal shares yesterday, or equal parts of the whole. So that top part of my triangle is not equal to the bottom part of the triangle, right? They're not the same size. So let's erase this. And I think, if I'm reading your mind correctly, I think you're probably saying, do it like this. What do you think? Now, will we have an equal part of the whole? And do I have enough for every person in the family? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 equal pieces. Let's try it. Let's see. Oh, dear goodness. I hope that this cuts evenly. Oopsie. 1, 2, 3, 4. Aha! There we go, you guys. I've cut my cookies into 4 equal groups. Lily, you want to take your piece?
I'll take the one all the way on the left for Lily.
I'll take the one right next to her. We'll leave this one for Dad and Brian. Okay. Sounds like a plan. Excuse me, boys and girls. My goodness. You know what the great thing about learning at home is, guys? You get to eat at home, right? So if you said, cut it right down the center, Mrs. Santos, you are absolutely right. That's a good cookie. Okay. So that's what we're going to be talking about today when we talk about equal shares. Now, let's try another one. I feel like I'm going to have all this food in front of you. But one of my favorite snacks, and I want to say it's actually some of your favorite snacks too, guys. One of my favorite snacks out there is string cheese. I love string cheese. But again, I am down to the last 3 string cheeses in my family, and there again 4 of us. So how am I going to take 3 string cheese and split it between 4 people? Well, let's draw it first. So let's take a look right here. I'm going to just draw rectangles for the string cheese. So I've got 3 string cheese and 4 people. So 4 people share 3 string cheese. Cheeses, I guess, right? Boys and girls, there's more than one cheese. How is that going to work? Let's figure out, how can I cut these to make equal parts and so that every single person gets an equal part? Well, another way we can do this is if you have an odd number of things, an odd number of objects, but an even number of people, what you could do is you can split each thing into the number of people there are. Okay, so if there are 4 people sharing, that means you're going to take each one and you're going to split it up into 4 equal pieces. Split this one up into 4 equal pieces, and split this one up into 4 equal pieces. And that way, everyone gets an equal share. Here is one for Mr. Santos, Mr. Santos, Mr. Santos. One for me, oops, whoa. I am taking more than my share, boys and girls. Me, me, me. One for Lily, Lily, and Lily. One for Ryan, Ryan, and Ryan. And that's how we can take something like an odd number of things, like the 3 string cheese, and split them up evenly. Okay? So that is one way to do it. Let's try another way. Ready? Let's erase our board. And let's draw, I'm thinking of one of my favorite snacks in the whole wide world, guys. Not even a snack, it's more like a meal. I'm thinking pizzas. So let's draw 2 circles on our board here. And we're going to say 8 friends share 2 pizzas. So already I can either do this 2 ways. I can take each one of my objects and split it up by how many people there are, right? Just like how I did with string cheese. I split up the string cheese into 4 equal slices. Well, for this one, I can split up my pizza into 8 equal slices. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to split up our pizza into 8 equal slices, as equal as you possibly can make it. And if you need to pause the video, boys and girls, pause it so that way you are all caught up and following along with me. There we go. 8 equal slices for each friend. And that is one way that you can do it. Here is the other way. And I'm just going to simply flip my board around. And we're going to draw those 2 pizzas again. And remember, it's 8 friends sharing 2 pizzas. Instead of splitting up each one into 8 equal slices, I can divide them by the number of friends by the number of pizzas. I will take these 2 numbers and divide them to find out how many pieces I will split up each pizza. What is 8 divided by 2? So I'm using the numbers from this problem to find out. 8 divided by 2, what does that equal? 4, which means I will split each pizza into 4s. And it should look something like this. Here is for 1 friend, 2nd friend, 3rd friend, fourth friend, fifth friend, sixth friend, seventh friend, and the eighth friend. 8 friends share 2 pizzas. Both ways, this way where we split it into 4s, and this way where we split it into 8s, are both the correct answer. Let's erase our board, and I'm going to do both sides. Erase here, and erase here. You got to put some elbow grease into this, meaning you'd have to really, I've learned that you have to really scrub this board hard to get off the marker. There we go. Okay. Let's try another one this time. I'm going to take, let's see, have you ever had brownies before, you guys? I love brownies. So I'm going to draw these 3 squares, and I'm going to pretend that these are brownies that a friend of mine has baked. And now my friend wants to share these brownies with 6 of her friends. So 6 friends share 3 brownies. How can I split this up between 6 friends? Well, there are a couple of ways, right? There are a couple of ways. So right here, we can split each one into how many friends there are, right? And how many friends do we have? 6. So we're going to take each one and we're going to split each into 6 equal parts. That way everybody gets an equal amount. So that's one way we could do it. But our second way, remember, I did this with the pizzas, is we take these 2 numbers, 6 friends and 3 brownies, and we divide them. So when we divide 6 divided by 3, we get the number 2, which means for each brownie, I am just going to split them into 2 equal pieces. And you can do it any way you want, I guess. So I can split it this way, I can split it this way, I can split it equally this way. It doesn't really matter because 1 friend, 2 friends, the 3rd friend, the 4th friend, the 5th friend, and the 6th friend will all get the same amount. It's just cut into a different way. Whereas up here, we have friend number 1, friend number 2, friend number 3 gets this piece, friend number 4 gets that piece, friend number 5 gets this piece, and friend number 6 gets this piece. So 2 different ways that we split our brownies. All right, you guys. We'll do only one more, and then I'll let you complete your math homework for the day. Let's take 4 donuts. We're talking about all food today. We'll do 4 donuts. And now this time, there are 4 donuts and only 2 friends. How about that? 4 donuts and 2 friends. So now what will happen? I think you're right. If you said, let's divide these, 4 divided by 2 equals 2, I mean, we could split it in half, right? And then friend number 1 gets all of this side, and then friend number 2 gets all of this side. But you could have also said that friend number 1 gets these 2. This is for friend number 1. And friend number 2 gets these 2. All right, boys and girls, that is today's math lesson. Remember to do lesson 8